Hello guys, and welcome home. As you can see, this is my celestial form, if you will. Obviously, you know the deal, better pictures on my TikTok, on my Instagram. So, I feel like at this point, I don't want to shoot my own horn. I think I'm doing pretty good. We're really like, she's coming to a close. She's coming to an end tomorrow. The big finale. I'm so excited. That one obviously took the most work and was definitely the most stress. Actually, no, I think doing a costume for my sister was the most stress because if you haven't realized, a common theme on here is that I want her to like stuff. But anyways, we don't want to get too much into past things. I recommend, if you're curious as to what I'm talking about, go check it out. I have a whole playlist set ready. But if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, I am doing a tarot reading. I feel like what is more spooky than, you know, getting into the occult, the spiritual, that type of thing. Now, I am like, I don't mean this in a joke type of way. I don't know if anyone is gonna, if you're gonna be upset about it, hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. My sister does it professionally, so she taught me, like when she was learning, I was like her guinea pig, so I picked up so much in that time. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have the meanings memorized, so I do, oh my gosh, literally, oh there it is. I have the books here. As for the cards, so I'm just adjusting my light, oh much better. As for the cards, I'm going to show you, I've never said it like that before in my life. Anyways, I'm going to show you the cards, possibly pictures. I don't think it would show up upside, like reversed. We're gonna find out. But the point is, I'm gonna show you the cards and then the final spread at the end. I could have done this with just like my hands. I've watched some other tarot readers do that, but I wanted you to see all this. My nose is itchy, but my can't itch it. But anyways, we're doing a tarot reading. I've never done one like just like for so in general and for so many people, because who knows who's going to like see this video, obviously. So as they say, take what resonates with you and leave what does not. Okay. I guess it's just kind of more definitely on like a general reading, and I would say just kind of maybe for how the rest of the year is going to play out. So I don't know if you know anything about tarot, but I wouldn't say, like, I think a lot of people have this idea that it's like, oh, they're gonna pull a card that says I'm gonna die in 2 days. Personally, I don't really think that's how it works. It isn't really for like fortune telling, like that kind of thing, but I think it's more fun in the movies to like make it seem like that. Personally, I think tarot is more like a tool to help you, you know, reflect. Like it can show you like, hey, you're coming up to a test in your life. Are you going to make the same mistakes you've been making, or are you going to do something different? Or you keep getting a certain card and it's like, why do I keep getting that card? Then you realize it's a card about a bad habit or something that you have. And you can be like, oh, okay, you know, maybe this is something I need to work on. If you feel like something's not working in your life, it can help give you clues. You know, all of the cards have different meanings and associations. So if you're getting a card that's maybe associated with friendships, then maybe what's lacking in your life or something that's going wrong in your life, you know, you need to pay more attention to the friendships in your life, right? So that's personally how I view tarot, more as like a tool to help you reflect and look at the world around you, because the universe is so big and so crazy complicated. That's just my opinion on it. We're using this deck as our main deck. Oh, they're upside down. It's very Art Nouveau. It is the Harmonious Tarot by Walter Crane and Ernest Fitzpatrick. This is the first deck I ever got, so it just is very special to me. This is what I started to really teach myself with. And then the only oracle deck I have is this one. I actually got it from a herbiary book. I didn't even know it came with oracle cards till I got it. But I recommend the read, honestly, even if you don't really if you aren't really into like tarot or anything like that. Personally, I just think it was very fun to read, and the oracle cards, honestly, just a nice bonus. But enough yapping, let's get carding. I can't shuffle. I don't want to out myself, but I can. Also, I should shuffle like this, right? See, I'm so used to doing it like this because there's nobody to peek. Is it weird if I do it? You know what? Maybe I'll just hold it down more. But I want you to see me shuffle. Oh, shuffle sideways kind of. So normally I like to pull an oracle card just to get a general energy of the reading, and this helps me to decipher the actual tarot cards. I feel like this is the one. Oh, you can kind of see it already. This one is pay attention, nettle. So the stinging nettle, or the nettle card, is a card that's all about how generalization can be dangerous and how it often happens because we humans, we just get comfortable. That's what we do. We get comfortable in certain patterns and certain, thought processes, so we don't notice sometimes, and that can be dangerous. Just with like the nettle, it looks like a regular plant. So you're minding your business, trying to be in the moment and brushing your hands through all those plants, and then bang, you get stung because you weren't paying attention. You didn't realize that, hey, those plants, if you look closely, aren't all actually the same because one of them has prickles and is Miss Nettle, who's here today. I think it's very relevant because just that whole idea that if it doesn't directly affect me or hasn't been something I experienced, then it doesn't matter. I can push it to the outside of my conscious. We're all humans, we all experience the same thing, right? We generalize. But as we've seen, BLM, that very huge spike in crimes against Asian community, Indigenous Day, when we saw all the horrors that they have faced and continue to face, not only in North America, but around the world, okay? So, and that's just what I'm thinking about the top of my head. Not even to mention with COVID, the way people have been acting a fool because they think because they haven't got COVID that it doesn't exist, right? Not to bring the negative train in here, but it's a fact these things are happening. And I feel like a lot of it is happening because people aren't paying attention. They're walking around like everybody's experience is the same as mine, so this can't be real. That's not the case, as we've learned, okay? So, and this is the thing, is that these people who are walking around like that aren't the ones necessarily getting stung. It's the people that they're ignoring, the people that they're generalizing are the ones who face the worst of it, right? So we really have this energy of paying attention, realizing that not everybody is the same, and it's important to recognize those differences and those differences that people face in their lives. All right, so that's our energy. Now I normally do a triangle spread. Oftentimes for me, the triangle, the bottom three is kind of the general situation at the moment. The next two is, things you need to learn or something that could pop up, right? And the top card is either like a possibility. It's like you could end up here, you could have this. However, you need to work on whatever showed up in our second tier. Or it's a warning, a reminder to say, hey, this could also be down the road. So you need to be careful, be cautious, right? Now, every time it's different. That's how it normally goes, but we'll see. I'm going to pull the three first, then I'll show you. Wow. Okay. So we have, it was upside down. Personally, I always just leave them upside down and then read them to see and just see if I feel they are, if it should stay. Because look at these cards. I can't tell. I can't tell if they're upside down or not, and I don't necessarily want to peek. And honestly, I forget to just do a quick skim through and say, hey, is whole deck upside down or not? So that's why I always just leave it, then double check. But we have 5 of Pentacles, and it was upside down. So we're going to keep it that way just to see. Then we have the King of Wands here. And last but definitely not least, Temperance. Very interesting. This card was upside down. Personally, I already feel like, remembering what I remember about Temperance, it should stay upside down. So just a quick refresher for me. Temperance is about serenity, reflection, patience, waiting, birth, successful marriage. That's just like general, right? But again, you have to take what you feel fits. And what I feel fits, Miss Temperance, is the reflection, the patience, the serenity. We've all been lacking serenity. Personally, I have been lacking it. Lacking it to the point of pain. All right. So that, like, look at this girl. She's chilling. She's frolicking through her field. She's pouring herself a nice big glass of water. That's not the world right now. It's really not. And I really do feel like that has to do with the fact that there's no reflection, there's no patience, for other people. And not to say that I don't understand, because I feel like we are all also at our rope's end right now. We are all on the last straw. And I feel like we've been on the last straw for a while, and the world just keeps coming in, just keeps coming in. So I feel like we have that energy there. She's strong, she's present. King of Wands. Personally, I say feel wands, I think active. Like wands, you're making spells, you're making things happen, right? And I also just want to shout out, everybody's going to interpret these differently. If you come across this and you feel differently about it, that's cool for you, right? This is my reading, and it's my house. And this is what I think. Also, this is literally just the cape on backwards, okay? Because I didn't really have a costume. But enough yapping. Focus, focus. So King is about stability, loyalty, attachment to traditions, and rule life. Okay. So I think for me, what's kind of jumping out is attachment to tradition. We've had a lot of that, be questioned, that traditional like office work, that 9 to 5, like even that, a lot of things have really just been put under a magnifying glass. And, these traditions, these ways of life, some of them we realized maybe weren't so good for us. And I feel like maybe a lot of people knew that, but I think the general public is starting to kind of look around and be like, maybe the way we're traditionally going about healthcare isn't working. Maybe the way we're traditionally going about our work lives and having balance with our personal lives is not working, right? So the king is supposed to be an unshakable guy, but the thing is, as much as they used to believe kings were protected by God, sent by the gods, they were not invincible, okay? They were not. They passed away, there was coups, guillotines, depending on where you're landing in time, right? So I think that's important to remember, is that illusions, if you will. The king is supposed to be this unshakable figure, yet they can very much so be shaken. And oftentimes you'll see in history kings doing very messed up things to stay where they are. And I think we're kind of seeing that again, is that we have these traditions and things have been shaken up, and we're looking at these things and we're being like, yo, maybe this is not the way to do things anymore. And it can be scary because you're supposed to be unshakable, just the way things are done, and they've been done for how many years. So I think for a lot of people it is a source of great discomfort, and maybe that's where the stability comes in, because it may be even a lack of stability, right? And then 5 of Pentacles. Pentacles is often about literally money, business, gain, things like that. 5 of Pentacles, poverty, worries, failure, loss of money. It was upside down. Upside down doesn't always mean like the opposite, right? But I feel like it should be upright, personally. 100%. Poverty, yes. Okay, yes. Worries, like I said, the worries of that strong king crumbling before you is worrisome. Failure, loss, I feel like it's very straightforward. We are just in a time of turmoil, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, okay? It's just a lot. It's coming in on all sides all the time. So, yeah. Wow. Okay, we're gonna shuffle again. Second tier. Okay. Okay, and top. Okay. And what do we have? Oh, the Knave of Swords. My deck has, I think, knights and knaves. I don't know if you can see this guy. I'll put better pictures in as well. My camera doesn't always like me. And we also have the 8 of Pentacles, but it was upside down. So, that being said, a Knave of Swords, intelligence, good debating ability, curiosity, and lively spirit. Okay. So I'm going to read 8 of Pentacles as well and see if we can also get some clarity. 8 of Pentacles, that was upside down, work ability, creativity, manual skill. I feel like this to me is giving, like, even though we've had so much trash, so much poverty, we've also had a lot of people getting ingenious. We've had a lot of people changing their lives for the better, or trying to help the people around them and their communities change for the better, working on their skills. How many of you guys were baking bread? That counts. How many of you guys discovered a whole different side of yourself, a skill that you didn't know that you liked but enjoyed? Some of those people turn those skills into whole careers, different sides of yourself, whether it was in terms of like your sexuality or things like that, right? So we had a lot of people getting to work, getting their hands in it, and coming out on it on the other side. Not fully unscathed, but unfortunately that's life. You're never fully gonna come out unscratched. And if you did, I don't know. Who did you step on to make that happen, right? That's just my opinion. And then with the Knave of Swords, about intelligence, good debating, and the curiosity and the lively spirit, I feel like even though it really feels like it, I feel like we still kept our spirit in a sense. We still kept our curiosity. Our curiosity. You know, there was so many TikToks and Instagram, and I know that's not like the whole world, right? But just the way that people were sharing their lives and their cultures, and people were actually interested and learning. I admit some of it definitely was probably for show, but I do feel like a good majority of us learned things about other people, right? We learned that everybody isn't the same, and there are unique things about everybody going on in the world, right? So I think like there's just so much bad to be caught up on, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, just ignore the negative. Like, I say it, but I don't say it thinking that it's easy, right? But like, it comes in waves. It's never all bad, and that's a lesson I'm personally learning myself. So I'm not coming to you as an expert or somebody who's like, you know, though I look like I'm dressed like I'm coming from a higher plane, I'm right here in the trenches with y'all. I'm struggling just as hard. However, this I feel is a valuable lesson to learn, because unfortunately there's still going to be things that are coming up next, and maybe they aren't going to be as serious, hopefully not, as Corona, you know? And that's the thing, there's always something bad going on. There's always something bad going on. However, sometimes it can be much bigger and have such a larger impact and feel so much more overwhelming than it normally does. And it can just be like an eclipse and just black out everything, right? But it's not always bad. It's not always bad. This is kind of a reminder, you know, what in your life came out for the better, and if anything, what can you do to make something a little bit better in your life? Maybe it's time to finish that painting, pick up a different hobby, maybe just compliment someone just to make their day a little bit better, right? Don't get lost in the sea of darkness. Okay, don't let it drown you. That's what I'm getting from that. Okay, and last but definitely not least, our final card. Okay, what is it? The Knave of Wands. It's our final. Let's see. Wands. We're making things happen. That's how I feel. Knave, spontaneity, work, occupation, profession. Interesting. Interesting. So, I don't think necessarily work is the answer for everybody, but I think I'm more kind of focusing on, hold on one sec. I was reading the wrong one. Okay, so I did read the right one for Knave of Wands. I just felt like the explanation wasn't enough, so I'm still learning over here, but I just felt like it was the right card, even though the meaning in the book wasn't fitting necessarily. So I just went on, it's called Labyrinthos. That's where I've been trying to go to like learn and expand my knowledge. But it was saying for Page of Wands, it is about a guy, you know, the Page of Wands, it was a guy. He was looking out, you know, he looks like he's ready to go off on an adventure. So he has inexperience. He's a little scared of the unknown. His ideas remain abstract, but he's ready to go explore the world, take advantage of take advantage of new opportunities. And the other thing about him is that he still has a tendency to remain dormant or get easily distracted, right? So we're having adventure, excitement, cheerfulness, energeticness. So I still feel like with that information, Page of Wands is fitting. I feel like this is what could be. You know, at the end of the day, the year is ending. Personally, I feel like New Year's is still significant. It's still the changing. And I know like last year it felt like everything stayed the same, right? But I feel like even that, what were we missing? Like if we look at the nettle, did we feel like it stayed the same, or did we just not notice the ways in which things changed because we were all like still in lockdown? So we were just like, well, nothing, that's that. So possibly something to reflect on there. But I just feel like the moral of this is that yes, things are shiesty right now. They very much are. However, things were never always bad. And I say that having experienced some very bad things, okay? So I say that knowing that it's not easy to always find something that's a little nice in this sea of shite. But I recommend it. And should you do that and continue to do that, then you could be like our little page of wands here, out on a new journey, out to make something new and exciting and better for yourself, regardless of the current state of the world. Because it's another thing I learned is that there's always going to be something. The world's always going to be going crazy. And I think it's never been in our faces, at least at a time and a point when we were all alive, right? It's never been this much in our faces that things were really kind of bleh. So even if COVID ends tomorrow, there's still going to be something. There's still going to be another reason, climate change, there's that, right? So it's just finding ways to just make a little something for yourself. And if you want to make something for your community too, even better. All right? So I like to pull some oracle cards just because personally I love these. A lot of these come with little actions. And I think that's the best thing. Like tarot gives you a lot of information, but if you can't do anything with it, if you can't apply it to your real life, what's the point? Right? So I'll do three. That's what I was trying to say. What do we have? We have Lady's Mantle, Fortitude. Okay, I get that card a lot, to be honest, when I'm doing readings for myself. Center and Grounded, Red Clover. This one was upside down. Let me not get ahead of myself. And Lavender, Tough Love. Okay, so how relevant? Am I right? As I say right here, you can make it through this lifetime. Your soul is whole. And no matter what pains or abuse the physical world throws at you, you have integrity of spirit. And this is about little old Lady's Mantle. What is a mantle? If you say mantle, I think hearth, home, fireplace, the center, warmth, right? Lady's Mantle is very much about protection. This isn't a demanding card. This is very much like any caretaker in your life that's just patient with you. And they're just like, they're going to wait for you to get there on your own terms. But they're going to tell you right now that you have the strength to get there, right? There's kind of two parts of this card, are the ritual side and the reflection side. Personally, I'm going to focus on the reflection side. You know what? I lied. We're going to do ritual. So to build your fortitude, play the and then game, which is you take an imaginary scenario with your own worst fears and you say, if this happens, and then you say, and then, if my leg falls off tomorrow, then what? Okay, well, then I would be in a lot of pain because it fell off. Then what? Okay, then I'd go to the hospital. Then what? Well, I'd be so nervous, but I'd see a doctor, and then what? And so forth and so forth. And just keep saying, and then what? Because I feel like I said, I keep talking about building something for yourself, building something for the better, especially with so much of the world in rubble. Rubble could make great building materials, mix it up fine enough, I don't know, concrete, I don't know, building, right? Materials anyways. But it can be so scary to do that. It can be so scary to look at all that rubble and even comprehend that this could ever turn out into something good. So that's why you start playing the and then game with imaginary scenarios, something small, so that you exercise your brain. You get your brain into that thinking pattern so that when the big stuff does come along, your brain's already in the groove. They're like, we know this. It's like a cart dragging their wheels over the same path. You do it enough, it gets easier and easier to go down that road. So that's the point of this, right? You're exercising your brain. So honestly, just do that. What is your worst scenario? And then just go from there. And just keep going and going until you can't anymore. Or, and sometimes you might have to stop, but I feel like revisit until you maybe get to a place that is better than when you started. So if you start the and then game and you're like, what if my mom dies? And it's like, oh shit, right? So keep going until you get to a place where you're like, oh, I'm not saying like you'll ever be okay with their passing, but like, you know what I'm saying, where you don't feel as panicked, as nervous as when you first started the game. So that's my advice to you. Play the and then game. Get your brain into the pattern of building something new, because that's what we're trying to do, right? So red, was it red clover? Yeah, red clover. It was upside down. I think kind of relevant. Red clover is about getting your blood up, getting your blood pumping, okay? It's about, what is the word? Grounded energy and flow. Okay? Bold but not rash. That's what we say, or that's what we're feeling when red clover comes up, right? So it basically is about having the energy to show up for your life, show up in your life, and be present and get things done. But letting that energy or what drives you not come from a place of mania, from a place of, ugh, I just have to, so I will. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's life, right? But if it's constantly coming from that place, it's not sustainable, is the thing, you know? And I think a lot of people have been in a place, even myself, where it's just like, you're in a spot where one day you're not doing anything because you can, because you're in lockdown, then lockdown list, and you're out running like a chicken without a head because you could go into lockdown by time next week and you have a list of shit you're trying to get done, right? And honestly, I think even before Miss Rona reared her ugly head, a lot of people were like, you know, going through life like that. So I think Red Clover is kind of a call to say, okay, what can I do to get myself grounded? What do I need to do to have energy that's coming from a sustainable place so I can go about my day, right? For some people, that's having a better morning routine, going to bed on time, eating the right foods, making time for friends and family so you can recharge your social battery, right? Taking 10 minutes to read some of your book. Things like that, lifestyle actions that you are doing that make you feel rested and refreshed each night you lay your head on that pillow so you can wake up ready to go. Get a vision board so you can look at every day what inspires you, or talk to someone that inspires you every day, or watch that video from whoever that inspires you every day. You know what I'm saying? Energy is good, energy is great, but if it's not coming from a place that's sustainable, if you don't ground it, okay, it's only going to do so much, and it's going to run out on you, and you're going to end up burnt out. So that's where Red Clover comes in, and I think that's why it's upside down, because it has been lacking. And last but not least was lavender, which is for tough love. Lavender, people think soothing, which it is, right? But smell-wise, too much lavender is going to knock you off your feet, okay? It packs a punch. So lavender is definitely kind of dual personalities. On one hand, it can be very soft and soothing, and a couple drops on your pillow can definitely help you sleep. But too much of it personally gives me a headache when there's too strong of a lavender scent, if you will. So it's very much like what it says, tough love. Okay, this is that encouragement you need to get up, get moving. You can take this on, okay, and you should. In my opinion, if you feel like there's work to be done, you should probably do it. If you're not you, then who? It is your life. No one else is going to live it for you, right? So even with that, lavender, I know we're talking about a plant like a person, but in general, like lavender keeps a cool head, right? That's what they're saying about the card. How do you handle the ups and downs of your daily life? Do you thrive on drama and flaming situations simply to watch them burn? Do you step in or walk away? Lavender approaches every emergency with the same question. What can I do to create a calm on every level, physically, mental, emotionally, and spiritual? How can you bring this lavender lesson into your life? So exactly what that question says. What do you need to do to bring a sense of calm into your life? And again, not easy. A lot of us have been lacking calm, myself included, because there's so much in the air, so much that we thought was once and sturdy like a king is going to the trash. So yeah, it does kind of feel like pound every alarm button that you can, batten down the hatches, okay? But is that the best way to go about things? Because often when we do that, what do we do? We miss things. Right? So what do you need to do to not only keep yourself grounded energy-wise, and maybe they are very similar. What you do to keep your energy coming from a sustainable place is maybe also the same thing you do to learn how to take a breath. And even playing the and then game can help you, because it'll help you deal with that initial panic that can arise from these anxious thoughts and be like, oh, well, actually, there is still something that comes after this, something that can, not be as scary. I just have to ride out this initial spike of fear. So spike of fear is never going to go away. That's how we've survived thousands of years, right? But it's about not letting that fear overwhelm you to the point where you start acting crazy. Okay, it's about being like, oh, what if my car explodes? Oh my god, I'm nervous. You have all those feelings, but you sit with it. You just sit with it because you have the strength to, because you have the strength of spirit, like Miss Lady's mantle reminds you. You sit with those feelings of, oh fuck, my car just blew up. And you ride that out. Okay? And how do you ride it out? You keep your energy grounded. Even though your car blew up, you're still gonna go home and put on a face mask because that's what you need to do to feel refreshed and ready to go for tomorrow. Right? And then what? Well, you call your insurance company. Fine, maybe you don't want to do it tomorrow, but you're gonna go home, do your face mask, and call them as soon as you can in the morning. And why are you're calm like Miss Lavender throughout that whole thing? Because freaking out, as long as obviously nobody got injured when your car blew up, and even if they did, maybe you need to keep a cool head so the person who got blown up in your car is not freaking out as well, right? I don't know why this is my scenario. I don't know if it cut. I just got a notification. But it is, right? So I hope you're getting all these lessons. I feel like I keep throwing them out, but that last scenario includes every single lesson. Okay? Take some time. Look it back at things. Was it really all bad? Okay? Are you sweeping things under the rug because you've never experienced it, so it can't be happening? Okay? That's the first thing. You know? We need to be paying attention, not just to ourselves, but the things that happened in our lives and the people that are going through this world today, even if you've never met them. The other thing, where's your energy coming from? And what do you need to do to make it come from a sustainable place? Okay? And our other thing, play the end game. Okay? I feel like I can't tell you the value of it. It's more so do it yourself and you're going to see it as you go along. Play the game. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. This is not a Squid Game situation. Okay? It might be uncomfortable, but it'll be good for your brain to get into that process, to get into that thought process. Okay? And then remember, keep a calm head. This is all practice so you can keep a calm head like Miss Lavender and go about your day and be unshaken. And even if you're shaken, at your very core, you can take a deep breath and know that you're going to be okay by the time the day's done, right? So I hope this resonated with you. And if it didn't, leave a comment. What didn't resonate with you? And if it did, tell me why and how, that type of thing. I'm very excited to learn. I'm so nervous even when I do readings for friends. So just doing one like for the general public, is nerve-wracking. But I hope you had a great day. I just keep looking at my makeup. I'm sorry, guys. I'm distracted so easily. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to the reading. And also, we're coming up to the end of it. The 13 days, tomorrow. It's so sad, but also, I had a fun ride, and I hope you guys did too. I'm already, planning next year. I'm so excited. But I'm also super, super, super... I don't know how many times I can say excited, but I will as many times as I can for tomorrow as well. So, I will see you then. I'll see you then.